Hello glass industry, it's Mark from Klaus Formenbau here in Germany, and behind me, as you can see, is the production site of Droigk Formenbau. At Klaus Formenbau we believe that transparency is the key, so in this video we will show you what products they manufacture. We will talk with the CEO and the employees of the company. We will take a closer look at the machinery they use, and we will finally find out what this Made in Germany really stands for. So let's come right into it. Hello Norman.
Hello Mark, glad to have you here. Thank you for taking your time to visit us.
Thank you. Norman, where are we right now?
We are at the main headquarters of the Droigk company. At this location we produce neck rings and guide plates. We have a production area of about 2,500 square meters. And we have 40 employees working in manufacturing here.
Cool. And I have recently heard that you have made further investments. What have you improved?
Yes, we've been trying to increase our output. We want to manufacture much more efficiently overall. We want the process to be more stable during manufacturing. And we want to achieve a higher output with the same workforce, so with a constant personnel costs. In other words, we want to be more productive, more innovative and better positioned to compete.
Nice! Shall we take a quick tour?
With pleasure, you're welcome.
Okay, let's go. So, Norman, you told me how many people are working here?
We have a total of 40 employees here on the production floor. We have 60% of men and 40% of women. So here we are in the pre-milling department. That means the neck rings, specifically the castings, are joined together here on the production floor. Two halves are joined together to form a neck ring. And this is done on these milling machines. These are horizontal milling machines equipped with machining towers. That means we have the possibility to fit up to 16 castings on one machine, and they are then processed all at the same time in one single process.
Okay, and how much time does it take for the complete operation?
So I would say, depending on the number of parts, the production process of pre-milling for the parts takes around 12 minutes. It depends on the dimensions, of course. But then we have up to 8 neck rings processed at the same time, which are then transferred to our full operation centers. The casting surface is processed here, the parting line and the top of the neck finish is processed here, and we mill them around to be fitted on the lathe machine's chuck. In total, there are up to 16 castings that can be machined at the same time in one tower. We avoid the need to change tools because we have 16 machining pockets here, and the advantage is, even during processing, they can be loaded again on the other tower, so that we hardly lose any of the main time. We create a very high-end process. Our machines perform a cutting depth of 3 mm of material in one go. This allows us to cut a lot of material in a very short time. That is the pre-milling section. I would say we move on to the fully automated machines, because that's what parts are prepared for at this point.
So what do these people do here?
That's the finish. In the finish area we do all the finishing of the parts. That means the parts are polished and inspected. This way we ensure the quality and the preparation of parts for transportation and for export. You can see, for example, that we pack products that are not delivered in Europe in wooden boxes, so that they are prepared accordingly for transport via air or sea. And that is what our ladies do here. Here the proportion of women is 100%, because the women work very accurately and very precisely.
Apparently, yeah. And what are the approximate capacity of the production? What is the approximate production?
We produce between 15,000 neck rings and 18,000 guide plates on a monthly basis, depending on the volume of the order.
Okay, ganz viel.
And we are also trying to build up this capacity further. So we have now purchased the new machines and made the big investments in order to generate a greater output.
Who are your primarily customers? Are these glassmakers in Europe or just in Germany?
Well, our primary customers were actually the glass plants in Germany. Then we grew further beyond the borders of Germany towards Europe. Subsequently, we have continued to grow from the borders of Europe into the global markets, and we are continuing to expand those global relationships. We are happy to say that our export rate is actually already at 40% of our capacity, and we continue to work to make sure that this rate continues to increase. Where we arrive now is the department of our full operation centers. That means the neck rings are processed fully automatic. All the machine operations are carried out on a single machine. One of the things we have focused on is to assure that we don't have to handle anything by hand anymore, load or unload. It should happen fully automatically, so that we also keep the labor costs at an acceptable level. As you know, we are located here in Germany, which means we have very high production costs and also high personnel costs. Of course, for such fully automated machines we need employees who are highly trained and educated. But we need less staff overall, because we have a lot of things done by automatic machines. That is the strategy. We want to be more innovative, we want to be more modern, and that is why we have made these investments, and we'll also make further investments in the next few years, in order to go further in precisely the same direction.
Yeah, right. As far as I can see, everything is so super automized, and like this machinery, as far as I understand, it can do the whole process, like from the raw metal to the final product.
Yes, we have a production step at the beginning, which is the pre-milling, and then the neck ring is finally produced on a full operation center.
Wow.
It is a machine with 2 spindles and a milling unit. That means we can lathe the first and the second side, as well as the milling operations. Basically, we are able to engrave, drill, machine chamfers and the threads. All necessary operations can be realized on these full operation centers. It is even possible to measure on the full operation centers, so that we can automatically check the dimensions the customer requires and make sure we are always in the necessary dimensions.
That's just miracle. And so the ready products come out from here, right?
Exactly. This so-called horizontal handling system ensures that both the spindles are loaded. At the first step of process, the handling unit collects the raw material from the loading station and transfers it to the spindles for machining. Only then does the operator take over again. Every 10th part is automatically sorted out and sent to quality inspection for approval during the process, and the rest happens fully automatically. Here we can take a look at one machining center with an open machining area. This area corresponds to all machining areas of our full operation centers. The first spindle, second spindle, we have the tool turrets, the power tools, everything is managed in the control system, both the pallet stations and the 2 spindles, as well as the tool turrets and the handling system. This all happens completely here in the controller. Let's take a look. We have a machine that is running. We'll just have a look at it.
Okay. So these are relatively new machines, right?
This is the investment of the last 2 years. And we have also made further investments for the guide plate area last year and this year. And this way we want to make sure that the process is further perfected and stabilized, and that we focus even further onto optimization.
Okay. So this place is for the guide plates, right?
That is correct. Here the guide plates are produced fully automatically. We also have the pallet station here, we also have a horizontal handling system here. The whole robot technology that we have used over the last 10 to 15 years is no longer up to date for us now. We want to have everything integrated into one machine, and we have done a lot of work and a lot of effort with the machine manufacturer to adapt the machines exactly to our needs. And as you can see, we have here again the working area with a horizontal handling system, with a loading station, with an unloading station, and you can clearly see that the castings are positioned on the left and the finished guide plates are on the right. Similar to the neck rings, welding is still needed in advance. Everything else, in terms of the product, is manufactured completely here on these full operation centers. Completely.
And these are like the brand new machines.
Yes, that is correct. And if you go further, we can have a look at the old area where we originally manufactured our guide plates. We still continue to manufacture there, but not as intensively, because these facilities don't have the same efficiency as the ones we currently use. You can see here, for example, that we use the robot to drill the guide plates fully automatically. We weld here fully automatically, and even the production of the guide plates, first side lathing, second side lathing, is also done fully automatically here on the equipment by using robots.
So these are what it has all started from.
Yes, this is the technology that was developed by us 12 years ago. We have many engineers. Andreas Droigk is an engineer, his brother is an engineer, and they and their team of engineers made sure that we develop the handling systems ourselves, that we develop the communication between machines and robots ourselves. Exactly this technology is now being replaced by even more modern, more innovative and more efficient technology. This is the welding area. Here the welding process is running fully automatically as well. Basically, we use an inductive heating system. The parts are processed from the right and from the left to the welding source fully automatically. The two robots pick up the rings, place them under the inductive heating, heat the rings up between 350 and 400 degrees, depending on the dimensions, and then they are transferred to the welding source, where they are getting welded with our plasma welding system, and afterwards they are placed in a basket for down tempering. Also, this process is fully automated, like the others. This shows us that we have and need a high number of very well-trained people in our production. We need people who are trained in lathing, we need people who are trained in milling, we need people who are trained in welding processes, and we need people who are trained in robotics and are also prepared to familiarize themselves with very complex handling system. That is why we put a lot of energy into the training of our employees. Let's go further. We are now going into the design department, where the programs are created for production.
Where you develop the 3D models.
Exactly. This workflow is being realized in this department. That is not happening on the machine's shop floor.
Okay, let's
go inside. So, Mark, we are doing here the work preparation process and at the same time the follow-up process. That means this is the department that is extremely important for the entire factory process. In other words, this is where the process begins and where it ends. Basically, we prepare all the programs for the mechanical processing, in other words, for the fully automatic machines, for the handling systems, for all the CNC machines which we have in our production, and ensure that what the customer requires is implemented. That means that the drawing is converted into CNC programs, and the CNC programs are sent to the production floor. Everything is fully automated. Some of the CNC programs are optimized again on the shop floor if necessary, and when they have been optimized, they are sent back to the design office where they are checked, in other words, follow-up processed, and then released for the archive. Consequently, if the program is needed again, which implements its recurring order, then the optimized program is transferred directly to the production and the manufacturing process runs in the most optimal way directly further.
And so, can you develop the parts yourself, or you just listen to the desires from the customers?
In general, or in most cases, the customer has very clear requirements for the products, and they say very clearly what they require. And we are the ones who implement all the customer's wishes. Of course, there are likewise situations where we do projects together with the customers to work out certain results together. That also happens. So we are always in a very intense exchange with many customers. Nevertheless, in general, we can say that actually the design and the technical dimensions are specified by the customer, matching to the specific glass machines in their production.
As we got deeper into the Droigk site, we surely couldn't skip the office of the man whose job is to control and coordinate work on the production floor. Please welcome Klaus Mehlich. Hello, Klaus.
Hello, Mark.
So, I was recommended to visit your office, and could you please tell me what is your position in the company?
I am the plant manager here, and my daily routine looks like this. I take care of our customers' needs, first and foremost. I support the customers, I follow the orders, and make sure that the customers are satisfied with the service. So I take care of all the customers' needs, which are also in the way that I take care of raw materials, take care of the material flow, and on top of that, I keep the whole process rolling.
Okay, so could you tell what is your normal working day look like?
Well, I ensure that we are planning all activities. I deal with the customers, talk to them, coordinate appointments, plus I coordinate dates with suppliers. Nevertheless, I have to coordinate the people in our production with our team leaders, if there is a need, of course, to change or optimize the planning with the people on the production floor. That is part of it. And I also coordinate the entire daily schedule with our production planner. What has priority? Where do we have to pay attention? Are there any issues that need to be addressed so that we work in the right direction here and there?
And as far as I understand, you're coordinating the whole production team of people, right?
That is right. So I coordinate the production team, make sure with the individual team leaders that everything runs properly. Plus, I schedule the shifts, validate with them how things work best, where there is a need for action. Are there any problems that need to be solved? Do we have to intervene somewhere? It can be that no matter where the problem is, I go into action.
And what kind of specialists are working in Droigk today? Who are these people?
The people who work for us are primarily cutting machine operators in the field of lathing and milling technology. Of course, we also have people specialized in polishing and finishing our products, and that's who we are looking for as well. The majority are machine operators who have to handle very complex machines in their daily routine. So now we'll visit Andreas Droigk, our owner, and on the way to his office we will pass through the administration. This is the area where orders are received and processed. And here we also have our HR, accounting department and sales. Now we are going to visit Andreas Droigk, our owner.
Hello, Andreas.
Yeah, hello, Andreas. Hello. So, yes, based on your surname, Andreas Droigk, I assume you are very, very connected to the company. Could you please introduce yourself and your position in the company?
The company Droigk Formenbau GmbH was founded in 1957 by my father. My father had a very high affinity to the glass industry. And based on his affinity, he said, I build molds and the parts that the glass industry needs. He made it happen. 3 years later, in 1960, he built his own production hall in Dortmund-Holzen, which is still used until today for glass molds, but for their repair. There he managed the company very successfully until his death, after which my brother took over the management. I was still a student at the time, but of course I finished my studies at some point and then, together with my brother, managed the company more or less completely in the second generation. At some point my brother, who is a few years older than me, retired and went into a well-deserved retirement, and since then I have run this business as the managing director, but 5 years ago I started a company with my partner, Poeser, as I just said, in Holzen, in the former city where my father started, and there we deal with the repair of glass molds and accessories. Here we determine that in the German market, of course, we can exist only under specific conditions. We have made sure that our product is produced with a high degree of automation. Only that was the way into the future for all of us. This means that we now have 65 years of the Droigk company under our belts, and if we want to make it through the next 65 years, we have to come up with something sustainable, and we have it. I am very sure that we are on a very, very good way to be competitive for the next years, as well as the next decades, even in terms of the world. We have young people, we have state-of-the-art machines, we will not hesitate to make further necessary investments in the future, and thus we will certainly put the company on a really, really good path. In the years that followed, we have built up a very good customer base and, of course, a very good base of employees, all of whom have been really high qualified. That can't be automated, so to say. You can only repair the molds properly with your eyes, hands and head. We definitely have a team that is well trained for it. That is why this company will also be A. required in the future, because molds wear out and have to be repaired for production, and B. in this level of repair quality anyway, which means that a high level of sustainability is guaranteed with us.
Despite the fact that Droigk Formenbau puts a lot of emphasis on the automation of their processes, the employees are also extremely valued here. We've had a chance to chat with Sasha and Marvin, who told us what it's like to work at Droigk. So, hello, could you introduce yourself real quick and what is your position in the company? What do you do here?
Hello, my name is Marvin. My name is Sasha. I am a team leader and department leader in this company. I've been working at the company for about 10 years now. I have been working here since December. Since this year, I am working in the lathing department. I am currently taught how to machine neck rings.
Okay. And how did you find this company?
I found the job on the internet. I applied here immediately because I thought, well, attractive company, good working hours, and I applied and immediately got an invitation.
Okay. Okay. And what have you studied?
I did an apprenticeship as a tool mechanic in forming technology, and I was responsible in the milling and mold making area. So I come directly from the mold making and thought, well, Droigk is exactly my thing. I did my apprenticeship here as a young man, and I've been developing and working my way up since then. I had to learn how to deal with employees, our special concept, which we have. Then, our product that we develop here is a very special product, where you have to grow into it to become really successful there first. We have hard days, but we also have very nice days. The working atmosphere is very nice here in the company. We have great employees, a very young team. We have very intelligent people here who are very good to work with. The management is very good. A community which is like a family. Personally, I have met my family here, my wife. We've been married for 6 years now. We have now a daughter together. And I have to say, I'm completely satisfied.
Okay, cool. And do you like the team here? So, is the team very friendly together?
The team is very friendly to each other and very helpful. Not only the team among us, but also the management with us. That means even if I have my personal problems, nothing work-related, but something personal outside the company, I can also go to my bosses and say, I have a problem, can you help me? You have more experience than I do, could you support me on this? That is not a problem at all.
Okay, thank you, Norman, so much for inviting us over and giving a short tour across whole your production and give a better understanding for us and for our audience of how it's all done.
With pleasure. I'm glad you guys were here. Thank you very much for your time. It was nice to be able to give you a few insights into the Droigk company and to show you once again what we have planned for the next few years. We will be happy if you come back and we can show you how the Droigk company is developing.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
The same for me, Mark.
Until next time. Oh, the rainbow. Yeah. Goodbye.